that as well. All right, just take one more second. Look around the screen at the faces that you see here. This is your studio this morning. This is your Sangha. We use the term in yoga that this is your yoga community this morning. These are the fellow travelers that have come together on this journey with you to support you energetically and just to share this experience, this time. I just want you to know that you belong here. You are welcome here. You're included, you are seen. And it's just a privilege and a gift to me to guide this practice. And I hope to each of you to be a part of this beautiful Sangha that we've created on a Monday morning. So find a seat. And we won't be here long today. I just want you to use this seat and these first few breaths as a way to arrive in your body. And that sounds so strange, but it's so true, right? We're probably in our heads, or maybe we're still in the doing of the things. So get here, arrive here. And for me, the quickest way to do that is to feel the earth beneath me. So you might wiggle around a little bit and feel those sitting bones more connected to the cushion or the earth. You might put your hands on the floor and just feel that earth that supports you beneath you. Maybe even a sense of gravity. And then close your eyes. And then notice the layer of your body that is breath. It's our physical body. We feel our bones, our muscles, our joints, soreness, tiredness. We feel all that physically, but can you feel your breath body? It might feel like your breath is gliding underneath your skin, and you can feel it moving through your body. Notice if it's hard to be here. I'll be really honest, even as a yoga teacher with 20 years of practice, every single time I come to my mat, I feel the pull in these initial breaths toward all the things. It's hard. It's hard to be here and sit here. It takes discipline. So feel that if any of that's coming up. And then I'd like you to bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And expand with a big breath here. Push breath out through your navel up into your hands. And then on the exhale, feel those two places withdraw, come inward a bit and soften. And take a couple of those big diaphragmatic breaths. And then just stay connected to that feeling of big, full breath as you begin to transition onto your mat. And we're going to start this practice lying on our bellies. So I'm going to invite you to come all the way down to a prone position. And we'll do a little variation of this called, I heard this recently called crocodile. And so what I'd like you to do today is bring your forearms in front of you, kind of like you're folding your arms. And then that's going to create a little pillow for your forehead, creating just the slightest back bend. And then we're going to take our feet wide. So you'll feel your toes touching the outside edge of your mat, and you're just going to let your feet flop open. You might even wiggle around so you kind of feel the front and the inner part of your thighs resting on the floor. And I'd like you to use this position to again scan your body. Taking those deep breaths, feel your diaphragm pressing into the earth, your belly, breathing. And notice that. Notice that sense of expansion. You might notice it even in your back or the back of your rib cage. Moving body with breath. And again, maybe you're sensing gravity holding you here. Take a few more slow and deep breaths in this position, just reminding you of what it feels like to move breath deep. Bring your hands to your shoulders and draw yourself up to a tabletop position. And when you have found this tabletop position, hug your belly into your spine and begin to move in the slowest way you possibly can through cat and cow. The inhale is a lengthening in the front of your body. And the exhale is an expansion in the back of your body. So do that a few times, moving with your breath slowly. Awareness gives rise to breath, and breath gives rise to movement. So let your movement come from breath. As we're moving, we're continuing to scan the body for any places of tension, of tightness, of dis-ease. Allow yourself to come to a neutral position and we'll move sideways. So begin by drawing your left ear toward your left shoulder toward left hip, and the hip comes toward the shoulder. So just pause there to feel a crunch in your left side and some space in your right side. Coming back to neutral, switch right ear to right shoulder toward the right hip. Open up the left side body and breathe there. Coming back to center, widen your knees, bring your big toes to touch and draw your hips back over your heels. Come down into child's pose. I heard a teacher recently call this the wisdom pose, coming back to your own wisdom. And so I invite you to use this pose throughout this practice anytime you just want to settle, breathe, not move, and come into stillness. Coming back to that tabletop position, draw your knees back under your hips and let's start to shift the body forward and back now. So the hands come forward, the chest shifts over the hands. Just let your hips start to drop down a little bit, feeling some length in front of your hips. And then exhale back. Child's pose. Start to move with your breath. You can exaggerate this movement front and back. Notice here your energy. What energy showed up with you today? Are you feeling like a little bit anxious? Are you feeling a little bit slow? What is the quality of your energy this morning? And it doesn't have to be any way. I just want you to notice what it is. We'll go one more time, forward and back. And then as you come back to child's pose, friends, drop your elbows to the mat and interlace your fingers. So the arms are set up for kind of like we do in dolphin, but now elbows walk forward. So your hands are almost at the front of the mat. Knees are going to walk back. And we're just going to start to move our body forward and back here. So inhale to lift your chin over your thumbs, your hands, and then exhale, press your hips back. It's going to feel a little bit like puppy pose with elbows on the ground. Let's move a few times with breath. Inhale, belly strong. Exhale, pull back. Notice that we're just loosening up through the shoulders, through the hips. We're moving with our breath. Shifting forward, friends, we're going to pause here for just a moment. So bring your chin way up over your hands. It requires a little bit of strength to be here. So you can pause right here. If you want to make this more challenging, pick up your feet, resting on your knees and your elbows, asking you to hold in through your core. Press down through your forearms, open your shoulder blades. Breathe. And then lowering the feet to the earth, come back, hips back as far as they'll go, but let them stay elevated. Press into your elbows, drop your chin and your chest through your arms. Breathe here. And coming back to neutral, let's plant the hands once again on the earth. We'll tuck the toes and lift up into downward facing dog. Take your time here as you move into this pose. Another little body scan. Energy check. How's your energy now that you're upside down? And let's just slowly walk the feet up to meet the hands. Take the feet as wide as your mat, bend your knees deeply, and let yourself hang here in a forward fold. You can rest your hands on the ground or touch your elbows. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe here, notice what's happening in your mind, the thinking part of you. And without any judgment, it's kind of like a weather report. What's the weather like in your brain today? Is it stormy? Is it calm? Just notice. And we'll bring ourselves up to a flat back. So if you have a block or a pillow nearby that you'd like to use, you're welcome to. I'm just going to turn to face you. And we will bring our left hand onto the block or just down in front of us and come up halfway. We're going to put a big bend in our left knee and raise the right arm. So you're coming up into this twist. The arm is opening to the side of the leg that is straight. Beautiful, everybody. Switch sides. So the right hand comes down, the right knee bends, and the left arm opens up. Find deep breaths here. Notice where your attention goes. Try to bring it back to the body. And then let's move with breath. Inhale to open and exhale to close. See if you can put a little bit of softness in this flow, moving like water, trying to avoid hard edges. And we'll go one more time to each side. And when you've completed that, heel toe your feet together so they're about hips distance apart. Press your hands to your shins, hug your low belly in. Arms are going to fly to the sides like airplane. Chest lifts forward. Sit as deeply as you can over those legs. And then scoop the fingers down. Slide the fingers across the floor. Let them reach forward, up, and back as far as you can overhead. So movement with breath. Arms coming into the biggest extension and the biggest flexion, their greatest range of motion, front to back. Find a way to match this movement with your breath. You might start to notice that it feels good to straighten your legs as you come forward, that your hamstrings are starting to wake up. Let's go one more time, up and back. Hold this spine extension, this back bending posture with arms lifting up, 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 and maybe a little bit back. Beautiful. Glance up, let your palms come together and guide your hands right in front of your heart. Pause here for just a moment to notice. And notice that you can notice. Notice that there's something here in you that notices, a witness, an observer. A part of you that's wise and calm and aware. I'm going to move through a really slow version of sun salutations, gentle and flowy. So release your arms to your sides and just let them come up nice and easy, like effortless float to the sky. And then as they meet, gently fold forward, come down to the earth. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine, come up nice and easy. You could use a block here. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to lift and lower on our toes a few times, just making sure the bottoms of the feet are starting to lengthen. The Achilles tendons and calves are loosening up. And then lift up onto your toes. Put a huge bend in your knees and shift your hips toward the ceiling. Let your chest start to come closer to your legs. We're going to keep this nice strong bend in the knees. So pull yourself away from your hands. And then on an inhale, we're just going to float forward all the way, straightening the legs. And once we get there, we'll drop our knees to the mat. Option here to do a cat-cow or lower halfway down into chaturanga, push up and meet me back in child's pose. Check in again. Body, breath, energy, thinking, and observing. Tucking our toes, we'll lift the hips, downward facing dog. And take a slow walk forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Arms sweep high, extended mountain. And gather your hands together and let them pause here in front of your heart for a full exhale. And let's flow again. Arms reach high, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Lift halfway, deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come up onto the toes, put a deep bend in the knees, shift your hips up and back. Exhale. And then inhale, launch your body forward, plank pose, pause. Drop knees to the mat. You can either do cat-cow or lower into a little yogi push-up, down and up. And send your hips back, child's pose. This time, bring your arms to your sides, interlace your fingers. Let your head come to the earth and lift your knuckles high. Just find a breath in your shoulders, your chest, your upper back. Release your hands to the earth, hips to the heels. Sweep your arms out in front of you. Lift up onto your knees. Find an extended, soft version of camel. And exhale, drop again, arms behind. You can just reach back or interlace, head to the floor, lift up. Breathe. And release, arms down. Come up onto your knees, lift up and back. And arms come to the sides. Beautiful, everyone. Let's come to a tabletop position. We're going to start to move into some hip opening, everyone's favorite thing. So start with your right foot forward, top of the mat, and we'll be on that left knee behind us. If you would like to put some padding under the knee, that might feel good. And then we're going to widen it. We're going to take the right foot all the way out to the right edge of the mat. So just wiggle that foot out. I'm going to turn to face you so this makes a little more sense. So the foot's a little wider than normal. We'll bring our left hand down and we're going to put our right hand on the inside of that knee and give a little press so that we can open the heart and look over the right shoulder. So not too much pressure, just enough so that knee drops open. You have room to draw the left shoulder up and forward. Turn your head to look over the right shoulder. Just a little bit of space and room here. A lot of room for breath to move through the body. Nice. And then return to center. Heel toe that foot so that it's closer to the middle of the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. And then just a few inches, shift forward and back on those back toes. Notice body, notice breath. And then just slowly reach your arms high, extended mountain. Take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and pull. So finding length in that whole left side of the body. Breathe into your left ribs. Lengthen, lengthen. And then release your hands to the mat. The left hand drops either to the floor or a block. The right arm opens in twist. Fill your body with breath. Notice your energy in this pose. Is it tired energy? Is it vibrant energy? Is it slow or fast? What are you feeling? Energy. Release your fingers, hand to the ground, and softly step your back foot to meet your front foot. Hang here in ragdoll. Notice left hip and right hip. Notice left leg, right leg. Left foot, right foot. Might feel different. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. And then with that soft bend in the knee, scoop the arms all the way up and slightly back. Gather your hands to your heart. Exhale. Perfect. Inhale, arms reach, stretch tall. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, big breath out. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come up onto your toes, huge bend in the knees, hips press back, breathe in. Stay here, big out, exhale. Launch forward, come to plank pose, hold, press your hands into the earth. Notice your strength. Drop your knees and you can either do cat-cow or a yogi push-up, a low chaturanga. Back up and we'll meet in child's pose. Arms sweep behind, interlace. Come onto the top of your head. Lift your knuckles. Open your chest. And then release. Sweep through. Come up to stand on your shin bones. Reach back into a gentle, extended camel. And release hands to the mat. So nice, everybody. Scoop your left foot forward. And let's start to walk that left foot toward the edge of your mat. Knees a little bit wider. Lean the right hand. You probably are going to take your right hand off the edge of your mat. As you push into the left knee with your left hand, you can turn your toes out. Just open up through the hips and allow your chest to lift. Listen to your body. This might be gentle for you, but it might call you to a deeper stretch. Follow. Let breath lead you into your expression of this kneeling posture. Find that belly breath again. Beautiful, guys. And then go ahead and come back around to center, hands on the mat. Tuck the back toes. The left foot comes in a little more in line with the knee. And then let's lift up to low lunge. From here, reach up, high lunge, find your balance. Left fingers wrap around right wrist and then stretch the side body. You're breathing into your solar side, your yang side, the side of you that's strong, fiery. See if you can feel that energy with your breath. Releasing back to center. Hands come to the earth. Right hand on the floor or a block. Left arm twists open. Really nice. Everybody get active through your back foot. Get active through your left fingers. Let everything expand. Notice your energy. Good. Release your hand to the floor. Softly float the back foot to meet the front foot. And in forward fold, just bend and straighten your knees a few times. That could be small. Some of you might even want to come down into this deep squat and back up. Just take a moment to release your legs. And we'll end in forward fold. Ragdoll, again noticing right and left. See if things feel a little more symmetrical, balanced. Exhale long. Pressing hands to shins, lift and lengthen halfway, belly stays strong. Inhale, open your arms up, extended mountain. Let's interlace our fingers and move right and left. Let's move into the side body here. So if you're feeling tension in your back, move more slowly and small. If your body is giving you a green light, go ahead and take a nice deep side bend going back and forth. Think of moving your ribs away from your hips. Back up into center. Release the arms out wide. Palms stay up. Thumbs behind, pointing to the back wall. And then reach your arms back as far as you can in this position. Lift your chin. Feel your chest expand. Good. Keep that expansion. Turn the palms down. Arms come behind you. You can either reach towards each other or interlace fingers. Pull your shoulder blades onto your back. Use a little bit of strength and force there. And then lifting your chest, let's hinge from the hips and come down into a chest expansion forward fold. You can soften your knees. Just let your head be heavy. Nod yes, shake no. And with each breath, maybe the knuckles are invited a little farther over your head. Opening this heart space, the place that houses our values, our best intentions, compassion and love. It's here in our heart where we connect with what's most important. Release your fingers to the floor, and once again, bend your knees, scoop the floor, arms reach high. And exhale your hands right back to your heart. Just pause to, again, notice this place of love and joy and connection within us. Turning to the side of our mat, let's take our feet wide. And come into this wide straddle, all 10 toes pointing to one long edge of your mat. And then bring your arms once again out to the sides, palms turn up, thumbs reach back. Inhale. Exhale, bring your fingertips out in front of you. Let your pinky fingers touch. Palms fold together, arms reach high. Good, do that again. Open the arms wide, thumbs to the back wall. Stretch back, stretch back. Fingertips coming forward. Pinkies together, palms close. Reach up and out one more time. Back, 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 and then forward with pinkies touching, palms together, reach high. Awesome, you guys. This time, palms down halfway, warrior two. We're going to turn the right toes to the front edge of the mat, widening the stance, come into this nice deep warrior pose. Shift your eyes over the right middle knuckle and relax your shoulders. Standing strong, finding a place of being settled. And now just flip the right palm and lean forward. I want you to just lean forward and just kind of hold this forward position for a moment. Find your core. And then slowly reverse that warrior. Come way up with your fingers, way back with your head. Let your left arm wrap behind your back. Feel a little opening in the left front shoulder. Breathe there. And then returning to your warrior two. Place the right elbow on the right thigh. Left arm comes up overhead, side angle. Stay here for a few breaths. You're welcome to bring your fingertips to the floor or a block if you prefer that. And the top arm can reach overhead or over your ear. Explore that. Good, everybody. Inhale, reverse warrior. Let's make some big movements with the side body here. Exhale, side angle up and over. Awareness gives rise to breath. Breath gives rise to movement. Let breath steer the movement. One more time, up and over. And then let's open out to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, turn all 10 toes again to the side of the mat. And then hands come to the crease of the hips. Let's fold forward. Wide straddle, forward fold. Let your head drop down. Hands can be wherever you like. Taking some full body breaths here. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Do that 2 more times, friends. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. As we come back to the halfway lift, let's bring hands to our hip crease. Come up with a nice long spine. Good. Arms open out. Warrior two, left side. So turn your left toes to the back of your mat. Widen out your stance. Maybe bounce in a little bit. Find your Virabhadrasana Dvi, warrior two. Shoulders down. Good. Look over your left middle knuckle. Breathe. Breathe into your belly. Turning the left palm, reverse warrior. If you'd like, you can rest your fingers on your leg or wrap the arm behind your back. Open some space here in the left side of you. This left side of your heart, your feminine side. Yin, softness, ease. And then come to side angle, either resting on the thigh or touching the floor. Block is great. The arm can reach high or hover over the ear, making a nice long line of energy. What breath can you find here? Where does it go? How does it feel? And let's start to add movement with breath. And instead of breathing and moving, and instead of moving and breathing, breathe and move. Let the breath draw you forward and back, side to side. Let's go one more time, side to side. And opening the arms back again, warrior two, arms straighten the front leg, turn the toes. Arms one more time behind, either reach toward each other or interlace. Also great to grab a strap. Drive your chest wide open here. And then exhale forward, hinge from the hips. Lower your head, lift your knuckles. Exaggerate your breath around your shoulders. Create a little more space. And release your hands to the earth. Heel toe your feet in just a little bit so that you can angle your body to the front of your mat. Downward facing dog. One more time. Lift onto your toes. Put a giant bend in your knees. Shift your hips up and back. Exhale. And then launch your body forward. Drop your knees. You can do cat-cow or a push-up. And let's meet each other in child's pose. You can take your feet wide or your knees wide if you like, or keep them narrow. Arms however you like. Check in again with your breath. And then go ahead and come up to a tabletop position. Transition your legs around so that you're coming into a seat. And we'll take our legs out in front of us. Clear the flesh. Come into Dandasana, which is seated staff pose. So we're going to pull the toes back towards our face. You'll feel a stretch in your Achilles tendons, calves, backs of your knees, hamstrings. But keep your spine upright. You might even pull your chest up and hug your shoulder blades back. This is a really active posture that's great for our upper body rounded posture that we're all finding these days. Takes a little effort for the core to hold us here. And then just release this. You can use your knees if you like. Allow yourself to come down onto your back. And once you get onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And explore a little bit with what's happening in your low back. So that might be moving your knees in and out, stirring, like you're stirring a pot. You could come into happy baby here. Just find what's happening in your back. And then planting the feet on the floor, let's bring ourselves up into bridge, lifting the hips, lifting the tailbone, coming onto the backs of the arms first. And that's a great place to stay. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you can walk your shoulders underneath you and your hands a little closer to your heels. So we're lifting the hips and coming more onto the tops of the shoulders. Kneecaps pointing straight towards the wall in front of you, not out. Lift, breathe. If you'd like to interlace your hands underneath you, go ahead. And you're also welcome to take wheel pose today if that's calling your name. Hands on the floor and push up. But exaggerate again that diaphragmatic breath. Expanding and softening. And then release your back to the earth. Just feel that for a moment, the spine resting with gravity. Body surrendering. Take your toes wide so you feel the edge of your mat with your toes. Arms come out into a T and then just windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Just windshield wiper your knees. Feel that massage across your sacrum. And the next time your knees go left, let them drop all the way over. Your head turns to the right. So you're kind of in a split twist, split kneed twist. If you'd like to change this by stacking your knees, you're welcome to do that. And breathe here. And slowly switch knees to the other side. Take a moment to just feel a sense of compassion for yourself, for each other, and let that sense of compassion, of love, come into your whole body as you begin to bring yourself onto your back. Find a comfortable way to rest. One of the advantages of practicing at home is we have lots of pillows and blankets and couch cushions and things to put our feet on. So use what you have to help you be comfortable, and we'll rest here for 3 minutes. And minds often wander, so when yours does, bring your attention back to your breath. You might just picture your spine laying here on the floor, so the inhale starts at the tailbone, the base of the spine, and makes its way all the way up into the crown of the head. And at the exhale, the crown of the head softens and that breath spills back down along the spine. So you can hold your own attention by doing this spine breath. Take another spine breath, drawing breath from the base of the spine up to the crown of your head. And let that breath just flow all the way down your spine, into your legs, out the bottoms of your feet. And then begin some kind of gentle movement that starts to bring you back into awareness of your body. Let this movement grow in any way until it eventually brings you back to your seat. As you come back to this seat, bring one hand over your heart and the other to your belly. Find again your own breath, this connection to yourself. I'm going to leave us today with a reading from Engaged Buddhism, which is a cute little story about squashes. Once upon a time, there was a bed of squashes ripening in the corner of a field. One day they began quarreling. The squashes split up into factions and made a lot of noise, shouting at one another. The head priest of a nearby temple, hearing the sound, rushed out to see what was wrong. He scolded the wrangling squashes, saying, "Whatever are you doing? Fighting among yourselves is useless. Everyone, do zazen." The priest taught them all how to sit properly in zazen, and gradually their anger died away. Then the priest said, "Put your hands on the top of your heads." The squashes did so and discovered a peculiar thing. Each one had a stem growing from its head, which connected them all to one another and back to a common root. "What a mistake we have made," they said. "We are all joined to one another, based on the same root and living one life only. In spite of that, we quarrel. How foolish our ignorance has been." So, my friends, I ask you at the end of this practice to open your eyes and see again this Sangha in front of you on the screen. And bring one hand to the crown of your head. Know that as you look at this screen, we're looking at people that live in several different states, different genders, different ideologies, different political affiliations, religions, ages, and yet we all share a source. May we remember that, especially in this next 24 hours, that we are connected. Your hands together in front of your heart, honoring this human connection. The people that don't look like you, act like you, live like you, we are one. Namaste.